mate, alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Hello there, I'm your host Kazu, and welcome to the second episode of the Samba Radio. On this show, I bring music both new and old from the subgenre of punk, reggae, and ska music. Also, we had a great chat with Phil from the Oi band Templars, so stay tuned. Let's start with this classic right here. This is Take 'Em All by the Cockspur.
We worked our way up from East End pubs to gigs and backstage passes, Xboxing champs, West End clubs, Americans in dark glasses, driving 10 grand cars, drinking hotel bars, even making money in bed. They wouldn't be no loss, they ain't worth a toss. It's about time they all drop dead. Take 'em all, put 'em up against the wall and shoot 'em, short and tall, watch 'em fall. Come on boys, take 'em all. Well, tough shit boys, it weren't our fault. Your record didn't make it. We made you dance, you made your chance, but you didn't take it. Well, I gotta go make another deal, sign another group for the company. I don't suppose we'll ever meet again. You better get back to the factory. Take 'em all, put 'em up against the wall and shoot 'em, short and tall, watch 'em fall. Come on boys, take 'em all.
That was Take 'Em All by the Cockspur. Next up is an interview with Phil from the Templars. My friend Bubba from Viernes 13 joined us for the interview, and we had an awesome conversation.
Alright, so this is Samba Radio. I'm your host, Kazu, and my second
Hey, what's
host,
up, guys? It's Bubba.
and we have a very special guest today. It's Phil from the Templars. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Soul Templar.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah, pretty good. You're in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm 3 hours ahead in New York right now.
Okay. Is it freezing over there?
Nah, the weather's been actually a bit better than before, but it's just really rainy today, so. It's not cold, it's wet, so.
Nice.
I know it's horribly warm here in Southern California right now with the sun out. And...
whatever. That's coming our way soon. hopefully sooner than later.
Right on. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been that cold weather's been taking over the country, most of the country.
Yeah, of course, but they say global warming doesn't exist. Okay.
Right. Climate change.
That's it.
Yeah, we should get into that. So, wait, Phil and Bubba, you guys know each other, like, in the past, correct?
Yeah, we met before. Yeah.
Yeah, we've met a few times, mostly on the kind of the DJ side of things, a few times over the years.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys tour, how often do you guys tour?
We don't tour.
You don't. So it's just kind of like whenever, it's like, well, I know you guys come out here every once in a while, for sure.
Yeah, we come out, you know, because we all have, you know, a lot of us have jobs, you know, all of us have jobs, but two of the members have, you know, kids they're raising, you know, so it's kind of hard for us to, you know, get on the road and tour, you know. The music the music isn't a job for us. It's, you know, what we've been doing since kids, so, you know, we make it happen, you know, we can. More of a way for us to play for friends who are into us or been into us, and for us to get together, you know, have a guys' weekend out. So kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, I see.
Right on. Yeah, I would say that's kind of a similar situation with most of my bands. We all full time, kids up in the mix, play when we can.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. Play when we can, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think touring bands, that's another reason why a lot of touring bands, you know, they have a certain half-life, you know, shelf life. And after that, you know, they just get played out, you know, inner conflict, beefs and everything. I just don't see the point in spending all the time on the road playing for, like, you know, on a Tuesday night when everybody else is, well, most people are working, you know, 40, 50 people. It just doesn't really. I just rather make the times that we come out and play shows like a real big special event. People know about it ahead of time. People can take off of work, make arrangements, and everyone hangs out and has a good time, like a big, humongous freaking party.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's those Rolling Stone bands are far and few between, man.
Right.
How do they do it?
I don't know, but, you know, whatever they've done it, they've mastered it, and, you know, I'm not trying to hear that. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, a big thing about this, you know, the radio show is called Samba Radio. It's kind of like a subculture podcast, and you know, the truth is, it's a subculture, and the kinds of music that we all listen to and play, you know, it's something special, and it's not up there. It's not on the clear channels, or what is it, iHeart Radios of the world.
Yeah,
station,
exactly. Definitely not mainstream, you know.
Now, is that what appealed to you in the kind of like the Oi scene? What pulled you in?
What pulled me in was pretty much back when I was in high school and stuff. A guy made me a couple of tapes and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, you know, it's aggressive rock and roll stuff. You know, a lot of the things they were singing about kind of appealed to me as a young cat growing up. So I felt kind of like an attraction and a pull to it. And, you know, I've always been messing around with music ever since I was a little kid. I grew up in a musical home, so, you know, I played instruments here and there, and taught myself how to play the drums, and, you know, just bought loads of records, you know, and you buy those compilation records, and you look at who they thank on those records, and, you know, you buy all their records, you buy all, you know, the individual records. So, you know, just, it's kind of like a snowball effect, you know. Then you want to start playing that type of music, and you got to find other people who think like you and you want to play that same type of music. So back then, that was like the mid-'80s. That was, you know, you find someone like that, you immediately grab them on your team, and, you know, you try to do a band with them and stuff. So I played in like a couple of bands here and there. They never went anywhere, but, you know. So I was doing stuff at the local university, you know, DJing those records and, you know, playing music that I love and stuff. And a friend of mine was like, hey, I know a kid who, you know, likes the same music as you do. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, who is this? You know. And he, you know, I called him up. I called the dude up, Carl, and stuff, and then we actually met and we hung out. And, yeah, you know, it was kind of like a, oh, shit, you know, what was this guy? You know?
There's another one.
Yeah, oh my, exactly. Like, oh my God, another guy. I got to keep him safe, you know. So, you know, we jammed out a bit and stuff, and we jammed out, you know, made a little couple of tapes here and there. Then I didn't see the dude for like almost like a year and a half, and then I ran into him again at the local university and stuff, and we started talking again, and, you know, we actually, hey, let's record some more, and we recorded some more, and a couple of friends of ours were like, hey, you guys, you know, spending all this time recording and messing with music, why don't you just get another guy and just play a show we're putting on together? I'm like, yeah, okay, why not, whatever. So we had another cat that we knew, you know, he was more into hardcore stuff, but, you know, he listened to the Oi stuff as well, so So we're like, hey, we're doing this, and he was down. He played bass, so we were a three-piece, and I told Carl, I was like, hey man, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna actually do this, let's see how far we can get with this, And that was in like '92.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's been a great ride ever since. He's like my best friend. He's always been my best friend. So now we're best friends on stage.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you brought. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. What I was saying that like it seems like like your band is just like is just like the combination of like you and your like best friends like just together, and like you guys been playing for like over 20 years, and like I'm pretty sure like you get into some like disagreements like along the way, but how did you guys like stick together for like such a long time?
Because we didn't, I guess the band, being friends was more of a priority than the band.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Friends will have disagreements, but at the end of the day, okay, you think your way, I think, my way, we can either come to an agreement, come to a middle road, but, that's what life is all about.
Yeah.
I can still disagree with you and still respect you as a friend and not close you out of my life. And we can still, play the music that we love together. We might have disagreements on other things going on the planet, but one thing we can agree on is that we love this music. We love the bands we love. We play the certain style we do, and we just bring it back to that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's definitely true. Like not. It's great that you think that way, because like not every band out there like thinks like that. They always think of like business, and then like they just they just split like no problem, So
no, if you're friends first and you play good music, the business will just fall into place.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead. If you play good stuff and you have a positive message to say, people are gonna follow you no matter what. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, it's like. I have a hard time, so when I'm working on a project, sometimes I have like, a 1 or a 2 year gap between the band, or maybe someone drops out, but it's like, I kind of want to make sure that whoever that new member is, on the same page with us musically, at least to kind of get along. And, I mean, I can always, like, if someone throws a gig at me and they give me some, they can throw down some guarantees, I can always hire people, but, it's not the same.
It's not the same at all. No. That's the thing. We started as a three-piece, and we were, and every member that's been in the band was a friend before they joined the band, not some random person. So they knew what they already know our personalities, how we get along and everything, and it's like this band has basically been friends before the band has even started. And even guys coming into the band, like Chris and Perry, they were friends with us before they joined. So we got to actually know these guys before, actually bringing them in. Not some kid that, Craigslist shit,
Yeah. Or, I don't know, we got the penny saver up here.
Yeah.
Did you guys know the penny saver?
We got that out here, too.
Oh,
penny saver.
Yeah, I remember looking for band members in the penny saver. That was pre-Craigslist. If you're under 25, pre-Craigslist.
Oh yeah, and it was printed.
That's right.
And they drop it off on your. They give it to you with your Sunday paper. The penny saver.
Never heard of that. Well,
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, there you go.
He's right there.
Yeah.
When I used to put ads in the penny saver, though, I was able to do it through a website, but it was printed. There was no Craigslist.
Yeah.
So Philly, you also DJ.
Yep.
And you DJ, you're not just spinning Oi.
No, hell no. I spin the music I love, which is all different types of music. So, depending on how I feel, depending, what the scenario is. I used to do a lot of the like the bar scene and do all the hard rock and the Oi stuff, but that would just end up in a lot of fights and all the women running away and just a room full of guys trying to beat each other up with wine glasses. So that wasn't too appealing to me because then I wouldn't get any callbacks. I'm like, well, you pretty much every time you play your music, it's like Fight Club in here. Oh my God. Try to,
diversify.
Yeah, that's it. Keep the women in, because if you keep the women there, the guys will be happy, and the guys will want to try to kill each other. Especially if you're playing very aggressive music and you're serving alcohol. It's like being at a gig.
Good point. Yeah.
Nature takes its course.
That's it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about how you guys don't tour, but like you play a lot of your shows, like of course locally, and recently you played not recently, but it was about 6 months ago. You guys played the punk rock bowling with
special from Charles Bradley. Yeah,
with Charles Bradley, rest in peace. Yeah. But yeah. Well, how did that show go?
That show was great. I wish we could have played a little bit later, but it was fine though, because we played early afternoon, so we were done with the afternoon, and we actually had time to actually check out the rest of the bands playing that afternoon, which was actually a rare occasion for us. And it was good, and I got to give a hug to Charles Bradley after his set, because that was one of the most phenomenal sets I ever seen in my life. I was like, this guy just ripped it up on stage.
Wow, really?
And it was. I was like, whoa, that was like really some really intense stuff. And he was a real humble cat, just real nice guy, just mellow, and he did what he had to do on stage.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more. He's one of the more. I don't know, how would you say it? I mean, just his presence on stage is felt, like no matter how big or how small the venue.
That's it. Yeah, he's just like a one-man gang, just like all-encompassing, just a performer. He is the ultimate performer, was the ultimate performer, and will continue to be the ultimate performer in my mind. And it was great. And also,
there's not going to be many people like him.
Nice. Yeah, no. Those days are over.
And then unfortunately we had a...
He was an older gentleman, and he pretty much brought it back to what it used to be. So it was like a nice, refreshing, like, oh, okay. This is the way a performer's supposed to be. This is how a performer's supposed to act after he gets off stage. Just real friendly, real cool. Just, I can see why he had a huge following, because he kept it real. Kept it OG.
Yeah, that must have been like a really cool show. Like I really regret not seeing Charles Bradley at all. Same with like Sharon Jones and stuff too. So like I feel like like those two artists are like really amazing. But for the Templars, like do you have like any new music on the way, or like even though you guys aren't touring, do you guys like still currently?
Well, we just released a new album. It came out on the beginning of towards the end of October.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Deus Vult. It's a Deusvult. It's Latin for God wills it. It's a popular phrase said during the Crusades. And, we're all about that, medieval Crusades, things. So. Yeah, it came out on Pirates Press in the States and on Rondalla Records in Europe. And there are like 3 different versions floating around, different vinyl versions, because we've been around for a while, and we've always had the vinyl collectors that really, really, they like collecting our stuff, let's just say. Our stuff is pretty collectible, all the different colors, and we really put our, our hearts into putting out stuff for like the vinyl nerds out there. Me being a vinyl nerd to the max, so, and being a record collector since I was a little kid, just like, now I have a chance to put out records. Let me make something special for the vinyl nerds out there like myself,
Yeah.
Are you kind of, I don't know, what are your thoughts on this resurgence of vinyl? It's not exactly the same. I mean, it used to be tape to vinyl or analog to analog, but
now they're actually putting out vinyl. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. I guess
it's good. It's cool, but my thing is And, you know, people would take it the way it is. It's like a lot of these bootleggers, I'll just say that. Can't stand them. Can't stand bootleggers. If the, you know, I can understand an official reissue. That's the proper way of doing it, because you're actually putting something back in the artist's hands, or towards their family if they're deceased. But, you know, just like stealing people's stuff and just, you know, doing what you want to do willy-nilly, kind of janky, kind of dusty, if you ask me. And, you know, another thing I hate is, you know, also when you get all these, like, quote-unquote, you know, DJs coming out now just playing, like, these really, really, really rare-ass tracks, but they're, like, bootlegs. It's like, that's kind of like cheating. It's like you're being like a broke-ass Indiana Jones, you know. It's just like, cause I remember, you know, you'd go to places, you'd be called in, and, you know, you'd be in these dusty, you know, rats running around. I remember I was up in Harlem one time, just in someone's basement in an apartment building, just like rummaging through records without sleeves, trying to find good quality. There are rats in the room. I've got a T-shirt wrapped around my head. That was like some straight-up Raiders of the Lost Ark shit. You know, and you find something, and you know you got to keep the poker face, and you know like, oh, how much for this, and, blah, 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 and they tell you like $4 or you know $3, you know, and you try to keep your composure and not sweat, you know, and you know you walk out there. And that's when you know you found something, you actually worked your ass off and you found it, you know, it's cool, you know. But these days it's like too easy, too damn easy to be a DJ, too easy to, you know, do shit.
Get the reissues.
That's just my it's just like cheating, you know. That's my personal thing, whatever. But hey, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm entitled. Right on.
Yeah, you know, for me, a big thing is the era of a DJ versus, you got DJs and then you got collectors.
Right.
And every once in a while, those two things converge.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know, Kazu, if it's cool, I kind of wanted to go back to something Phil said earlier.
What?
Kind of related to the vinyl even. You know, we went from vinyl to cassette tapes, you know, 8-track and cassette tapes. Yeah, that's always, that's weird to me.
That's very weird to me. Because who makes radios? Oh, who makes cassette players? I mean, like...
Right, you know, from what I understand, you know, a Walkman, if you have a Walkman, you might be able to sell that thing for $150 on eBay right now.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you show a Walkman to a young kid today, like, what the hell is that? What is that thing?
That's it. Pre-iPod.
Yeah, he's like, what are those? That's fine, because, you know, which is pretty good. If they found a way to put out some quality tape players, that'd be nice, because I still have all my old demos and stuff, and demos of other bands that I never converted to CD or to whatever. So if I was able to play those again, cool.
Yeah, what's funny is about 10 years back, Rich from the Israelites found 2 huge boxes of cassette tapes in his garage.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, if we would have held on to those, he probably could have turned around and flipped them for $10 each instead of giving them away.
Right, yeah. I mean, you know, you'd be in somebody's car and they'd be like, yeah, put on this tape. I'm like, whoa, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Flip the tape over. Oh, yeah. I want to hear the demo again. Nah, not today. Hell no.
No, I mean, it's already to the point. I went out with one of my friends the other night. She's like, oh, I brought some CDs. She gets in my car with 20 CDs, and I don't even have a CD player in my car anymore.
I'm like, what are these? Coasters? what am I supposed to do with these?
Yeah, I mean, all you need is an aux cable, you know, because of like all the streaming services and stuff. But Phil, what are your thoughts on like Spotify?
I don't mind it, you know. Like I said, as long as, you know, people want to stream the music, okay, it's fine. It's, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. No, just as long as people are getting paid for putting out the music, especially like the people who are deceased, you know, it's just like their families and stuff, you know. Just, I don't mind Spotify and stuff like that. I really don't care because, you know, I've messed around with Spotify on at times they at work. You're able to play it on the computer and stuff, and people's playing music. All right, that's fine, it's good. But my main thing is just the bootlegging. That's got to stop. That's really, really got to stop.
I see.
There are like all these old reggae artists who like pretty much put on great music, and they're living in shacks with all kinds of chronic illnesses, not getting treated, not taking medications for. These guys, dying in a very young age because they lack the medicine they need to take just to keep themselves alive. Why? Because everyone's willy-nilly putting out their shit and making loads of money, but not kicking anything back. Really? Come on, man. You can't do that.
Right.
So I remember we used I guess the current Skylights when Lester was still in it. He's the only guy alive right now. But a couple of years ago, we were at this bookstore down here in downtown Los Angeles, and they had a record section. And there's still a couple of guys in the Skylights. They were not originally in the Skylights, but they are original musicians from the Sky Rock Steady and reggae time in Jamaica.
Right.
And they go after they're done with the interview and the presentation. Go check out the record section. They're pulling out records that they were on. Oh, I recorded bass on this. Oh, I recorded drums on this. And it's like they're not getting any sort of revenue stream off of those.
Yeah, that's really, really dusty. It's really, really hard to talk about that stuff because they might have gotten some money then, but it's just okay for the initial release. They were probably paid, but people are reissuing stuff left and right these days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the musicians get like left in the dust, while one label sells the reels to another label, and you already had your original deal, but this is a new deal since I own the rights now, I can come on, man. Really. It's just something has to be done about that. It's just not fair.
The one thing I wanted to go back to actually that you brought up was when you were listening to those bands that kind of inspired you, which I don't know and it's funny you say because it's something that I tell young musicians now. And back you had the cassette tapes with the booklets, you had the CDs with the booklets and the liner notes. Right. And then when we went to MP3 or streaming, all you have now is Google. I mean, you would have to Google, maybe go to Wikipedia or Facebook and hope that the bands listed those kinds of things that they used to put on the liner notes and in the booklets of their media.
Yeah.
You hope that they still have that.
It's like who was the engineering just like because sometimes a lot of those bands they would put out records, but they would be produced or engineered by another person in another band.
Right.
So that stuff, that's cool stuff that you want to know that stuff. It's like, oh, okay, that's why it has this sound. Because such and such was the producer on this,
I mean, so like Daptone was doing that with their records. They were putting out records trying to trick people and tell them, oh, this is an old record, putting out new stuff. But I mean, they were putting out, so I guess I would say that's one positive thing about this new vinyl movement, I guess. Everyone going back to vinyls, that you have that tangible media again, and you have room, if they choose to do so, to write those things and put those things on the jackets.
Exactly. Exactly. It wasn't just about the vinyl. Usually, if you had a gatefold, you had pictures. You were there with the band. You know what the band looked like. You got pictures of the era. Them in the studio, the lyrics, all the personal information listed from that time when they recorded this right there for you to read, and that's great. Like you said before, it's tangible, something you can hold on to. If you ever want to go back to it, fine. I remember the first time I was able to get MP3s were all those file sharings, and you'd end up downloading a virus. I'm like,
right.
Then they finally nipped that in the bud, and then you would just get the MP3, and okay, you would just get the track. And it's like, okay, nothing else. At least with something tangible, it's like I can actually hold on to this. And I always like that snap, crackle, pop sound anyway. That shit that sounds too clean is not for me. So.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So hey, Kazu.
Yeah.
So should we include a track off the new album on this podcast?
I don't know, man. I think, yeah, of course, yeah. That sounds like a great idea. We should do it. I think Phil should pick out a track for us to play on the podcast. But what will be a track that we should play? And do you want to talk a little bit about the song as well?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually looking at the record right now. Let's see. It's still, yeah, and for anyone listening out there, the record just came out, still available. So it's just, I'm sure you can, it's available on as a download, for those guys who don't want to have a record to lug around. But, you can get it from Pirates Press, which is located in just outside Oakland in Emeryville. You can get it there. Rondale Records, that's in Germany. So for the ones who want to collect the version with the different art cover, you can get it there as well. Everything's online, so it's easily accessible. You can even get it from us if you like. I'd say one of the best songs one of my personal favorites on the album is a song called Devil's Hand. Pretty good. Misspent Youth is another good one, which I really like. That pretty much describes us growing up. So, being kind of wild and reckless and, and I guess camaraderie and doing really dusty shit when we were young. A lot of our songs deal with like social issues as well. Our viewpoints on social issues as well. Just the political climate we're in right now, the social climate we're in right now. So you can kind of like read between the lines of our songs and know where we're coming from. That we don't want to cram it down everyone's throat, but hey, we have a message. We just want to take, we want people to listen to our spin on things going on right now, and they can make their own choices from there. We're not preachers, we're just rock and rollers, and you got to sing about something, so you got to sing about stuff that affects us directly.
I see. Oh, all right, that sounds great then. All right, well, I just want to say, Phil, thank you so much for taking your time to be on the show, and we'll play it for the audience, and hopefully, I know you guys don't tour, but hopefully I see your show someday.
We will be in LA this fall. That's what I'll say. I'll say that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll just say that we will be in LA this fall. So anyone listening to this, just stay tuned, because the announcement will be made exactly with all the specifics, probably the beginning of March.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, that sounds
right on. Hey, maybe we could get
guys.
a DJ night together when you come out here too.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen as well, because the last time we played in LA, we made that happen as well.
Awesome.
Hells yeah.
All right. Well,
all right,
thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Then.
Sounds great.
Right,
thank you, guys. Take care.
Thanks for downloading the podcast, everyone. Samba Radio.
Yeah. Support your scene. Support your local DJs. Support your bands. Music is our occupation.
Yep, all that shit. All right. Well, have a good one, Phil.
All right. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I refuse to let death be the end. I defy God. There are things much older than time, and they've blessed me.
These are the words I share for you. These are choices you had to do. You gave our nation a face of pride, but they let you go and they let you die. The government actions by the devil's hands will call you up to invade our land. You are the man under the face of death. You wear you down and you get no rest. You gotta fight, fight. As the process to the deadly game, you gotta fight, fight. Fight for freedom and the government's lies.
That was Devil's Hand by the Templars. If you're enjoying the show so far, don't forget to follow Soulside Productions' social media and follow the Templars' social media too. Links are in the description box below. Alright, let's keep this ball rolling. Next up is a track by Derek Morgan. The song is called The Conqueror.
Introducing myself as your hits from space. I am no skylarker. I'm only known as a conquering ruler. Coming from the north with my face to the south, I'm quite sure I can knock you out. I'm the conqueror. Anywhere you go, the conqueror. I want you all to know the conqueror, and I rule also. The conqueror. I don't mess with the east nor the west. I leave the public to suggest I'm the conqueror. Anywhere you go, the conqueror. I want you all to know the conqueror, and I rule also. The conqueror. But look on him face now. Favor them all pick up a result. Starting to stammer on the conqueror. Anywhere you go, the conqueror, and I rule also. The conqueror. I want you all to know the conqueror. Put on a frown when I'm wearing my crown. Right here on Orange Street, that's where we'll all meet. I'm the conqueror. Anywhere you go, the conqueror. I want you all to know the conqueror, and I rule also. The conqueror. I want you all to know the conqueror. Yes, you rule also. The conqueror, and you know it too. The conqueror, and I rule also. The conqueror.
That was The Conqueror by Derek Morgan. I'm sad to say this, but yeah, it's time to say goodbye. I want to give a big shout out to Phil of the Templars and Bubba of Viernes 13 for making this episode great. Bubba will continue to help me with the interviews in the upcoming episodes, so follow us and get more updates on Samba Radio. We will end the show with a song by Booze and Glory. The song is Leave the Kids Alone. My name is Kazu, and I'll see you soon on the next episode of Samba Radio. Peace.
They might be young, but they still deserve our respect. They come from smelly guns in bloods, homes full of weight.
Let them talk.